All right, guys, thanks for coming in today. As you guys know, my name is Mr. Toste, and I'm your counselor. I've met with you all at one time or another, and we've talked about a lot of different things. But there was one common thread that I thought might be a good idea to bring us together. I would like to start by just going around the table and introducing yourselves, just to establish kind of some rules and understanding. Just remember that in this environment, everything we say is confidential. We don't want to take it outside of the room. But I want you to feel free to openly express yourself, okay? When we're done, I really do believe that this is going to be beneficial for all of you guys, okay? So let's just start with you and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and let everybody know what you're all about.
My name is Noe Tapia. Well, my parents came from Mexico. I have 9 siblings. And
9?
9.
Boy, are you high or low on the order?
I'm right in the middle.
Right in the middle, okay.
And I work on the weekends, and after school, I pretty much go home and clean up. And I'm going to Fresno State next year. And since both my parents came from Mexico, we're not the most financially stable people, but we're not like in a crisis or anything, because instead of spending a lot of our money on material wealth, every weekend in my childhood, my dad used to get me and all of my siblings and go to like old houses, and which he bought, and because they're like really run down, so we just tore them down to like the concrete foundation and built them back up. And we did 2 houses like in my adolescent years with all my siblings, and he's paying those 2 houses on rent. He's gonna have to sell one because like paying off like some of the houses, paying off both of them is like really stressful on him, so he's gonna sell one of them to pay off the other one. And so that's why I'm really counting on financially to pay off college.
Now you mentioned you work. Is that who you work with? Is your dad?
I work with my mom's cousin, Martin.
Okay. Do you work a lot of hours, or I mean?
I really during the summer a lot.
A lot. Okay. What about during school?
During school, I just get cut it to the weekend.
Okay, through the weekends.
Yeah.
All right.
My name is Adam Gage Martinez. I'm a senior here at Washington Union. I transferred over here from Riverdale, California last year. I run track, play football. I plan on going to Santa Rosa Junior College next year and doing the same for them. And from there I'll go join the Marines.
Good deal. Do you work on the weekends or anything like that?
Yeah, I work for actually my mom's boss. He gives me little jobs here and there, doing little renovations, sometimes during school hours, sometimes on the weekends. It just depends when he needs me.
Nice, nice. What would you say is the biggest difference between our school and Riverdale?
Washington Union's more diverse and also larger numbers. Even though this school is not, really big like Clovis School, Riverdale only has 400 kids compared to here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's bigger.
All right.
My name is Chauncey Ross. I come here to Washington Union all 4 years. My parents I have 2 sisters and a brother. Both my parents work. My mom works nights. My dad works during the day. My parents are divorced, so I take care of my little brother and sisters during the night. I play baseball, I run track, I play football and soccer, and I do not know where I'm going to college next year.
You play almost every sport we offer. Man, what's the plan for next year? You're not sure about it?
No, not yet.
Is there any hopes that you're kind of pulling for? I mean,
to play baseball somewhere.
Okay. What schools did you apply to?
I applied to San Jose State, Fresno Pacific, and that was all.
Okay. Good.
My name is Brian Martin. I've come here all 4 years. I have one sister. She's a freshman here. And my mom, she's a principal superintendent at a small school outside of Kingsbury. And my dad, he works at 5 Points at a John Deere thing. I play football, baseball. I played all 4 years. And I've worked multiple jobs. I used to work on the dairy we used to own, but we sold that. And so now I work part-time as a caterer for a lady I know. And starting as soon as baseball season's over, I'm going to work for American Fertilizer out in 5 Points as well. And for college, I haven't decided yet. I'm down to Oregon State and Cal Poly for my 2 choices.
Nice. Now, you've had some really good luck with some financial opportunities too, haven't you?
Yeah, I've received 2 really helpful scholarships to Oregon State, and I've received a couple others elsewhere, which is really helpful considering I'm gonna get more financial aid for my academics than maybe my sister will, which will help my parents out a lot down the road.
Good, good. Do you have any idea what you might want to study once you get there?
I'm gonna do agricultural business for my major, and then after that, I'd like to try and get my law degree.
Makes sense, you know, having a family that had a dairy to follow into ag.
Yeah.
It's good stuff to have a head start. How about you, my man?
Yes, I'm CJ Freitas. I've gone to Washington Union all 4 years. I went to American Union Grammar School. I played basketball and baseball. My dad works, he's self-employed, does a lot of basically everything. My mom is a teacher at Fresno State. She teaches social work. Yeah.
What activities do you participate in high school?
Basketball and baseball.
Basketball and baseball, okay. And what would you say you do with most of your free time, if you have any?
Don't really have much because I'm always at practice.
So the sports eat up your time.
Yes.
Does your dad have you work with him at all?
Every now and then on the weekends when he's really busy and he tells.
Okay. All right. I mean, you know, you guys, you sound like typical seniors. You got a lot going on. You're trying to balance whether it's sports or work or family, you know, contributions. You know, all this time I've known you, Ashanti, I never knew that you had to, you know, take care of the kids in the evening. I mean, that's got to be tough when you're trying to do your homework done for practice and these kind of things. Now that you guys all kind of have a little understanding of who's who, you know, it's kind of a thing that we do with some people, just kind of ease the tension. You guys seem like you're so serious and focused. We're going to do something, it's just a little strategy, it's called an icebreaker. Okay? There are a million different kinds. When I was a teacher, the one that I like to use, it's kind of silly, but it tells you a lot about a person. And it's basically, it goes like this. If you were locked in a room for 1 year, and you can only take one movie with you, okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the best movie in the world, but if you only had one movie to watch over and over again, which one is good time and time again? Okay, it says a lot about your personality. So, does anybody have one that pops in their head?
Down to my top 2.
Tough question.
Down to my top 2.
Top 2, you got 2. Okay, give them to me.
Both of them?
Uh-huh.
It's gonna have to be Remember the Titans and Interstellar.
Now, what's the second one?
Interstellar?
I've never seen that.
It's a
Oh.
space movie. It's very interesting.
Okay. And Remember the Titans makes sense. You're a football guy. Football movie. All right. Who else?
I got 2.
Give it to me.
My All-American, and the other one would have to be The Patriot.
The Patriot. The Mel Gibson one.
Yeah.
Great flick. Great flick. Ross, what do you got?
I have 2. My first one would have to be The Judge.
Okay.
It's a really good movie. I can watch it all day.
Okay.
And then the next one that comes to mind is Finding Nemo. Those are only 2 movies
I can't imagine you, a guy like this in the weight room watching Finding Nemo. That's okay. All right. CJ, what do you got?
We got a couple. My
Okay.
first one have to be The Sandlot. And another one, probably Ted.
Ted.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I enjoy Ted too. All right, that's good. What do you got?
Back to the Future and Games in New York.
Back to the Future. Now, see, up till now, you guys have been saying all this stuff made in the last 10 years, and my life doesn't allow me a lot of time to watch it because between being a dad and going to school and working, I don't get a lot of time for movies too. But I go old school. Back to the Future. That was one of mine when I was a kid. Anything with Jean-Claude Van Damme, I'm in. But I grew up on 80s horror movies, man. I know they're terribly made movies, but man, they're fun to watch. You know. So we've all got to know each other. You kind of see personalities. You guys have some similar interests, okay? When I met with you individually, the thing that really stuck out to me was how busy you guys are. And the one thing I was going to ask you is has anybody ever talked to any of you guys about how to manage your time? Have you guys ever had that conversation with anybody?
Can't say I
It's
have.
been mentioned, but never really went into depth with it.
In what capacity has it been mentioned?
You know, just teachers around high school always talking about it, but you know, we're students, we don't really listen to that too much.
You admit you don't listen, okay.
Is what it is.
Have you ever thought that if you put some thought into how to manage or how to plan, that you would benefit from it?
Possibly.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know that when you get to college, all the stuff you're doing now, it's going to get amplified, right? You know, you're going to have twice as much work. I know one of the rules I heard is that for every unit that you take, it's like X amount of hours of work outside the classroom. You know, so think about that. I mean, what is the average full-time student in college? How many hours do you think, or how many units do they carry?
8 to 10 in them.
Too much.
That was like 12.
The average, or the standard for a full-time student is 12 units. So if you believe the theory of, I think it's 3 hours a week per unit or something like that. So let's just go with that theory. Then if you're in 12 units, then you're working 36 hours. And that's why it's full-time, right? In our society, we equate a 40-hour-a-week job, right, as a full-time. So then, you know, 12 hours, you know, 12 units gets to 36 hours, now you're getting full-time. So then you understand that going from a school like this one to a school like you've been talking to, what were the schools you were talking about?
Oregon State and Cal Poly.
You're going to put in some homework time,
Yeah.
okay? Now, Noah, you said you were looking at Fresno State was your
Yeah.
school, right? So, I mean, that's where I went, and I can tell you right now that when I was going, I was trying to take 15 units, because if you want to finish in 4 years, that's how many units you typically take a semester. You're talking 45 hours a week. Now, I'm not saying it actually equates to that, but just the idea of how many hours you're going to be facing, okay? And if you're going to do some kind of sport, and unless you have a lot more money than I did, you're probably going to have some kind of a job. So we're going to have to balance that out. And what I'm hoping is over the next couple weeks, if you guys are willing, maybe we can get together and we can just talk about maybe some ideas. We can brainstorm, come up with some ideas how we can map out our time, our schedules, so that we can make the best of our opportunities. Does that sound like something you guys would be interested in doing?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. I'll find an elective block, just like I did today, and I'll try to call you guys out. We'll meet next week around this time. I got some papers there for you guys to take. I just want you to kind of brainstorm them. Like I said, all these meetings are confidential. Don't be afraid to say the wrong thing. Okay, the only wrong answer is no answer. Okay, just come up with some ideas, and let's see where it takes us. Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
No problem.